Superman and Lois, Season 4, Episode 6. That's right, folks. We are now more than halfway through this. We have one more month of Superman and Lois, and then it's done. And then in 2025, a new movie with a new actor. That's kind of exciting, you know? I like that Superman's getting a push. I like that this show is getting the chance to finish on its own terms, I guess. I think they could go another couple of years if they wanted to. There's more areas you could play up, but this era of television is coming to an end, and the best show in this era of television is going to end it off. So that's pretty cool. This is another one of those, well, we don't have the budget episode, so it's going to be a lot of talking and then one big thing at the end. There is not a lot of big visual effects in this episode. I think a couple of sequences where Jon and Jordan fly or leave a room with their speed. That's kind of it. I don't think Clark does it at all. He's just more, I'm going to be a tough guy over here. It's never him in a Superman costume. This is more like Jon is overworking himself as Superboy, getting a little too familiar with the power and doing a lot of stuff. Never stopping. All stuff that happens off camera. If this were Season 1, we'd probably see Jon doing some stuff. But it's not, so we just infer about it. Which is okay, because this episode is about land development. Lex Luthor wants to take over Smallville. We already knew that, but now he's trying to buy up some lady's farm, and he's going to build his headquarters there. And Lana's like, please don't. Please don't do that. You can't do that. It's not right. We don't want you here. We don't love you like we did in 1993. That's a reference to an episode of a Family Guy. It doesn't matter. Look, very specific episode that dealt with a very specific issue. I dig it. I think this is a good episode. It does present Clark in a way we have yet to really see him be presented. It's going to be very hard for some people to accept that. I like the capper to what they did with him, where it's more like, oh, I ruined myself in this situation. I cannot let that happen again. I dig that a lot. So the subplot is Jon is overworking himself. Jordan's trying to talk to him. He's like, you should do stuff too. And Jordan's like, I can't. I just mess things up. But then events happen that lead Jordan and Jon to both realizing we should be like the Super Sons. We should do that. They're probably going to do that. I think we have seen some concept art of the two of them in costumes. One looking more traditional, the other one looking 90s, which makes sense. You have two guys with different personalities, put them in different suits, see what happens. I get it completely. I'm fine with that. The main crux of this is Lex Luthor. He rejected his daughter in the last episode because he hates the Kents so much. And now he's like, I'm going to build my HQ here. Lana's like, we don't want you to do that. He's like, you literally can't stop me if I buy the land. That's literally what I'm going to do. So he interrogates a farmer and blackmails her or whatever. It's just like, just give me your land. And she's like, I'm gonna. It sucks, but he gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm going to do it. So Lana coerces Clark to come help her. And that's when we start to get the feeling that everybody in Smallville knows that Clark Kent is Superman. Because she's like, well, if you say he's a bad guy, and because we know who you are, there's definitely something there we should watch out for. So she backs out on the deal, so Lex isn't going to get her land. Which leads to a really good sequence I really enjoy. It's the kind of thing this show's been needing. Because we're halfway through the season now, and everyone in Smallville has been afraid of Lex, but now that they know Superman is here, they are willing to step up because they can be protected. So Lex goes to interrogate this woman publicly in a bar, saying I will give you $10 million for your land. I'll give everyone in this bar $10 million if you give me that land. And a couple of guys, before Clark even steps in, are just like, it doesn't feel right. If he wants it that much, that's not a good thing. So she declines, and he gets really pissed off. But Clark shows up in the bar to protect everybody. But it's actually Lana who steps up and is the one that protects everybody, which is really cool. A good thing to do for Lana is having her actually do something. And now Luthor's made another enemy. Oh, there's also another subplot where Clark is going gray. You could hardly see it on Tyler. He just looks amazing. But Clark awkwardly tries to hide hair dye from Lana, or he puts too much in and Lois is like, that reeks. You look stupid. It's really funny, and it's just the cheesy stuff that Clark would do. I'm going to get some just random hair dye and see if it helps. I really like that. The main thing about this episode, though, is kind of like the end couple 20 minutes. It's Lana and Sarah at home. An intruder breaks in. We learn that it's Otis, who is like in prison with Lex. And he attacks Lana in her house, breaks the security system, is choking her to death. She is going to die unless Sarah doesn't hit him with a bat and knock him out. Then everybody comes to the house like, holy shit, this isn't good. Lana was going to die. Like, she was about to die. No one was there to help her. Jon and Jordan think it's their fault for not, like, listening for her voice or being there to help. And Clark just goes, okay, that's enough of that. We're not doing that anymore. He goes, not really Clark Kent or Superman style, goes down Main Street, yells at Luthor to come out, and he's just like, stay away from my family. Stay away from my friends. You have ruined everything in this town. Get out. He is threatening him, which is really good because Lex is all about getting Lois. That is like his crux for this show, is like, I want to defeat Lois for ruining my life. You are just the husband. I really don't regard you. But because I know you're going to be a problem now, I have some safeguards put in this town. So he pulls out a little device and he hits a button and all the streetlights turn red, like the red sun that's draining him of his power. Very interesting. I'm not sure do red lights do that to him? I don't know. Look, it's Lex. I'll allow it. I'm fine with it. Then we get a really interesting sequence that I don't think I have seen in any like other representation. Like, I'm sure Smallville, like the show, had something like this, and probably like the Dean Cain one as well, where it's just Clark getting beat up and then beating somebody up. It's a fist fight between Clark and Lex. And it is so interesting. He's not Supermaning out. He's actually losing his power. And you think, oh, he's just going to like get beaten up and he's going to lose this fight so badly because we've been seeing Lex throw punches all episode just into like bricks and shit. It looks really cool. Like, they break cars and stuff. There is a huge battle and people are bleeding and bloody. It's really impressive. But Clark is Superman. And Superman doesn't lose like this. So he actually overpowers Lex, bashes his head through a car window, breaks a couple bones, I think. Like, it is brutal. And it's the kind of thing I was really not hoping they would do. I don't want them to do this specific thing where Clark is just so angry and mad and like destructive that he does this. He's going to kill Luthor, right? It looks like he's going to kill Luthor. Then his family shows up. And Luthor's like, well, they finally see who you truly are. And he lets Lex go. And he's like, get out of Smallville, never come back. And Lex packs up because he's essentially done what he's wanted to prove here, or something, that Superman is corruptible. So he leaves for Metropolis again. And then we get a really good end sequence with Clark and Lois, which is just Clark so ashamed of himself for what he did, which is, you needed that. You absolutely needed that moment to justify everything that just happened. Clark has to be ashamed of himself for what he did there. He was out of line. He stepped over something he shouldn't have and did the wrong thing. And the fact that he feels guilty about it is so crucial to his character. I really respect that they showed that. But his sons are like, that was sick. Like, you Mortal Kombated his ass. And he's like, you should not be proud of me for what I just did there. Lex might be gone, but that is not going to do anything good. We're all going to have to step up. We're going to have to be a super family, everybody. That's what we're going to have to do now. And then we end with Lex, because, like, another subplot through this whole episode was, like, his relationship with Amanda. Lois is trying to tell her, like, you don't know him. He had a chance to stop this, but he didn't. You're making bad choices working with him. But she chose Lex because he's sick and crazy, and they're in, like, the Luthor Corp building, downtown Metropolis with the big L on it. And it's like, all right, folks, get ready for some vengeance or whatever. And I think that's pretty cool. It's not like a huge episode. It's definitely like in the middle of stuff. We kind of wrap up a couple storylines. Like we do. I think this could be the end of Sarah in the show until like the finale, because she's going to go study abroad next like year or next semester or whatever, do something there. So I feel like if we don't see her again till like the finale, when we do like a time jump or something, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm okay with that. I like it. Like, it was strong, all the characters acted in character, and if they didn't, they learned a lesson about why you shouldn't act that way. It was good television, and it's that kind of thing I love this show to do. It's like, you don't have every episode have Doomsday. Just a straight up, like, fight in a street with two big boys is enough. And that really worked for this show. I really respect them doing that, not having the huge practical effect fight. We did that in the first episode. Let's just have Lex and Clark beat each other up for a bit, and there is no winner. It's pretty impressive. I respect it a lot for taking that chance and doing something in that way. It's rare that we see a Superman project strip him down this much to this type of like, I'm just a guy protecting his family and I'm ashamed of how I behaved in public. I think that's awesome. This show is interesting. We got 4 more episodes left. I am very curious to see where we're going to go from here, because genuinely it could go any direction. People are theorizing Brainiac. People are theorizing Reign of the Supermen. I don't know. I think we're going to see Lex in a power suit. That's where I think we're going. We'll see. All right, that is going to do it for this episode and this review. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck. And if you're watching this on election night, please remember to go vote.